22, right? All right, anyway.
Doesn't wait.
In the doobly-doo down below, you will see our link to our Extra Life and a link to our sister shows with the Heroes Wanted collective of shows. Please consider checking them out, and also a link to the Heroes Wanted Discord page. And without further ado, take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Stephanie. Yes, welcome everyone to episode 22 of Legacy of the Crystal Shard. I am Patrick. I will be the Dungeon Master for tonight, playing all the NPCs and running the game in general. Joining me tonight are...
Hello, my name's Chris. I play Radigan. I'm an artificer. That means I solve problems.
With big bada booms. Hi everyone, I am Tara and I'm playing Sithrin, the Silver Dragonborn Great Weapon Fighter.
And hello, I am Lorne, and this week I'm playing Curious, the Goliath Monster Slayer Ranger.
Ooh.
I am Brent, and I'll be playing the Great Ezekiel, a wonderful, wonderful half-elven bard.
Hi everyone, I think I'll be in the build tonight, and I'll be playing as Duma Boldstrike, a Minotaur barbarian following the path of the Ancestral Guardian.
And starring Ian as Augustus Constantine, the Forge Cleric of Moradin.
Also starring Stephanie, and I'm playing Cassandra Bowman Whitaker, a fangirl and divination wizard.
Excellent. In our last session, the party fought a frost giant monstrosity of some sort in a blinding snowstorm. One of our heroes, Jalkin, fell to the behemoth's blade. Ezekiel blinded the creature, and then while it wandered around blinded, the rest of you fled. Resting that evening, you memorialized your fallen ally and agreed to send his belongings to his family in Waterdeep. An evening watch was interrupted by a Goliath pursued by Yetis, and after defeating them, you were introduced to Curious and introduced yourselves while Duma skinned the Yetis and got their pelts to create a massive Yeti fur coat for himself. Curious joined you in your trek to Tourmaline, and you entered the Timberway Woods, which Augustus, recognizes as a landscape he has been through, and you followed the blazes on the trees towards the Ice Possum Lodge, one of his favorite respites for hunters in the area. Your journey, however, came to a halt when you found a man's body sitting against a tree surrounded by blood. And it, of course, stood out from this basically green and white snowy environment that you have been trekking through. And with the cold, both Augustus and Cassandra have a level of exhaustion. Just the physical toll this trek has taken. And this body sits upright, but it is slumped against a tree. Around him, the snow was stained a brilliant red. Looking over the body, you were able to discern that he died from blood loss from a terrible bite wound on his shoulder. The bite, however, had been bandaged, but it looked like the man tore his own bandage loose and reopened the wound with his own frostbitten hand. A brief inspection of the body also revealed that blood was seeping from both of his ears, and it appeared that his eardrums had been punctured or ruptured with a very sharp object. And you figured out that it was probably the very nice sort of leather-wrapped handled dagger that you found by his side. And that is where we pick up.
So as everyone is inspecting the body and I'm seeing all these signs of trauma, Sithrin is going to take out her axe and start scanning the trees, and she's just going to say to everyone, we're not alone. There's something following us.
Hand on both hand axes, pulling one out.
It is a cold winter. There's been things following us for a long time, probably.
No, this is something more. And then Cithern will tell you that she's been seeing like a misty, shadowy figure, and she's now hearing voices, like whispering voices.
Wait, what?
You do not have any of that black ice, do you?
I don't think I do. Like, not
checking.
I
Just
don't
checking.
consciously. I will. You know what? I'm going to search my belongings to see if maybe a shard got like lost or something in the shuffle, just in case. I didn't willingly pick one up.
Give
That's
me
all
an
I want to
investigation
know.
check.
Because
But-
remember, I did see the that winter witch woman.
Perhaps it might be a good idea to have someone check your scales. You might have some lodged in you from a fight.
Yeah, like Cithern never even thought of that, but now that, because like I said, she didn't willingly pick a piece up, but now it's like, yeah, she's totally willing, and she just starts stripping right there.
Was
Another
Cithern-
creepy scene
While
from Enterprise.
while this is going on, I'm
You're
looking about the
going through your-
neighborhood.
I'm in a
Going
minor
through your
illusion.
items, you do not find any black ice on your personage. Curious, you can give me a perception check if you'd like.
Damn these old eyes.
And you look, and as you scan the woods and the trees, I will say you hear just a low sort of growl and grumbling sound. And you do notice in the trees about 15 feet up to your right, you do see in the trees this very skinny Timberway lion, which is one of the sort of Arctic lions that, you know, these woods are famous for in their pelts. And you can tell this one is clearly just sort of emaciated and starving, and it is watching you guys, but it doesn't appear to be making any moves other than that.
Okay.
We haven't set up camp
I will
yet, right?
I will keep awareness of it, but I won't necessarily point it out because so far it hasn't done anything. But the instant it turns to attack us, I will be calling out.
Well, what if we try this? And I will throw a ration to the lion.
It immediately, moves to it, sniffs it, and then is just gone. And it's early, afternoon for you guys. You had a very, very good survival check as you made this trek up through the woods. You figure you're still a good half day's journey from the Ice Possum Lodge.
Okay, well, Radigan wasn't completely aware that he had stepped up like 10 feet away from this thing until, Gus sort of threw some food at it. Radigan's going to attempt to,
Do you want to switch places? I will get closer. It seems to be a mighty and noble beast.
No. Listen, I've got this. And Radigan's gonna try to, sort of, spread his hands out and whisper real quiet. It's like, easy there. And I look, boy, easy boy. It's all good. And I'm going to just soothe the animal, soothe the beast.
It doesn't move. It sort of backs down on its haunches, and you can hear this low sort of rumble in its chest, but it doesn't flee. It doesn't move, but you can see it just sort of eyes you warily.
That again, as Mama always said, the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Yeah, I got
but
this.
she went through my father's chest with a file axe, so there's that. And I will toss it a couple more rations.
I was going to do that, but all right.
And yeah, it immediately sort of scarfs them up, and then
Let's,
takes a couple of steps back, and it eyes you as it just sort of slowly backs away.
maybe we shouldn't use all of our rations on the local wildlife there, Gus.
Maybe we can have it as a
although
pet,
appreciate it,
though.
he looked like he kind of needed it. So you're a good man horse thing.
I don't know, Cassandra. I've heard of
You're a good
He
horse.
is simply a symbol of Moradin. The golden fire, the mane represents that.
I have heard
Now-
stories of changelings pretending to be animals to get onto adventuring parties' good sides.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm not a particularly religious man, Gus, but I'm pretty sure that Moradin didn't have any sort of golden lions or anything like that in his portfolio. Are you sure you know? You sure you know all about that? And I am speaking to the man with the symbol of Morden hanging off his neck.
I'm gonna go with I know exactly what I'm talking about. Of course, it is representation, it is art, I know. It is a very silly thing to someone who is so used to working the land.
So I think Cithrin's going to be done checking herself. I'm assuming I don't find any shards of black eye stuck in my scales.
You do not.
I'm still, and so I'll report back. No black eyes that I can see, but I'm still hearing the whispers.
Did you check everywhere? Did you check? I was hoping I'd have a good medicine check, but apparently I didn't.
Is that on Cithrin or is that on the
It's
lion?
more no. That's so the medicine check is Cithrin saying that she checked herself and she's okay. I am trying to think of places she might not have checked, and just asking if she checked there. Like, did
Cithrin's going to look and just be like, "Yeah, I checked everywhere. I checked everywhere, Gus. I was not injured in any fight."
Well, Cithrin's way down there, and the lion has kind of backed off a bit. So Radigan will approach the body and guidance himself again, and he's going to start rifling through the man's pockets, looking for identification or anything particularly useful or helpful in identifying this man.
All right. You look through, and what you can see is that, I mean, he's wearing, proper cold weather hunting gear. It's, very well made. Nothing, incredibly fancy, but it is very good for what it is designed for. You can see he's wearing, proper sort of hunting boots. But, I mean, clearly he's got a very fine, almost sort of masterwork dagger that was by his side. But other than that, doesn't appear to be carrying anything else on his person. And you can see, like, even though this is someone who is clearly dressed and looks like they're used to the cold, their hands are like frostbitten and open. Whatever it is, it does not look like they were taking care at this point.
Cithrin's actually going to try and start communicating with the whispers, and she's just going to call out, "I hear you. I know you're there. Show yourself."
And at that, Radigan's going to reach inside his pouch, pull out a magnifying glass with some sort of weird gears and pendulums hanging off the side of them, and then he's going to cast Detect Magic and just kind of scan the body and then scan Cithrin.
No magic detected off of the body. Cithrin, just her magic items sort of ping as magical, nothing unexpected.
And the dagger?
Non-magical. Very finely made, but non-magical.
Okay.
How fancy does it look?
It's very fancy. It's got a, beautifully sort of double-edged blade. One side is sort of serrated. One is, even as you pick it up, it is incredibly sharp with a very fine tip. You can see it is a beautiful sort of bone, and you would, by this point, you would recognize that it's probably a knuckle bone that has been wrapped in some sort of, leather or hide. Just absolutely beautiful craftsmanship.
Yoink.
Okay, so this guy was obviously a successful hunter or possibly a very wealthy man who lived in this area. So he's got the proper gear. He just kind of stopped wearing his gloves and just like wasn't really being particularly careful. And then he drove a dagger into his ear, which means he
friends, I am
wanted to
making the
stop
connection.
hearing something.
We need to leave.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm going to suggest that maybe we might want to not go in the northerly direction, which is where this man seems to have come from. trail of blood.
Okay, I am hitting them now. Let us go.
Which
All right.
direction were we headed we were headed north. That's the direction we
you're
have to go,
heading.
right?
You're heading west. So you would recognize that where these footprints in the blood came from is towards the direction you were heading, which is the next lodge, which is probably the what you recognize as where the hunters stay when they're out here, because you don't necessarily want to get stuck outside without finding one of these shelters.
Okay. This guy obviously pierced his own ears to not hear the voices anymore, and we've got multiple members of the party hearing the voices, so it's time to go. I agree with Ezekiel for once.
I think we always agree.
Let's go west. And I'm sorry to say that this man is probably going to be left to that lion there, but not much to be done about that right now. Let's get our friend and keep.
There is one thing we can do. By Morden's grace, I will go into whatever the ritual is. By Morden's grace, I commend your soul to the great forge.
Is there a quick version of that?
That was the quick version.
All right, let's go.
Let's not go to the lodge, though, because he came from the lodge.
But don't you want an adventure? A spooky adventure?
I would make it where we
Cassandra,
are going.
No, I don't want that. Did he come from the lodge? Do we have any evidence of that?
He
That's
came
where the
from
blood
north.
trail's coming
The
from,
lodge
right?
is west.
Yeah,
I thought the blood trail was coming from the lodge.
It was coming from the north. We're going west to the lodge.
That trail is heading to the west. You guys are cutting across, so it is sort of a northwest direction that you're taking.
And that is in roughly the direction of the lodge then.
So let's not go to the lodge. Let's just go straight across the tundra.
I don't like that idea either.
Me neither.
That is not a good idea as winter comes in.
All right, we're gonna have to risk the lodge. I don't like it, but we're gonna have to risk it. Let's get a move on. I want to get a fire up before dark.
You know
and
what?
No, we're not leaving the lodge.
Well, you know what's kind of funny? We're going to a strange cabin in the woods, and there's hinky things about. It's almost like I read this in one of my graphic novels.
Maybe you should read a fewer graphic novels right now, Missy, and maybe we should just get some shelter. Just my suggestion.
All right. What are you guys going to continue the pace you were going at? Are you going to try and go at a faster pace to get to the lodge?
I think we should, yeah, double our pace.
Oh, and I will
All
give
right.
the lion, lions, can lions
Lion's
eat
gone.
coffee? Aw.
You'll find
The
out.
lion has a plenty good meal right here, I'm sorry to say. Now let's
All right, I'm coming. I'm
who
so
has
tired.
does anybody have proficiency in nature?
I might. I think.
Nope.
I have at least half proficiency.
I
I'm
do actually.
I'm the opposite of proficient.
Oh,
I am
Curious,
proficient
when
in
you
nature.
hear Radigan say that, give me a nature check, please.
I'm not good at it, but I can.
Sounds
I'm
fine.
proficient in nature too.
What about survival or medicine?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Stephanie, when Radigan says he's got a fine meal here, looking at that starving lion and looking at the body, you think that lion would have already eaten the body.
Yes, I will say so. Oh, and one thing I wanted to do before we left the area is I want to look through my Tressem's eyes and see if there's anything invisible hanging around the area. Just do kind of like a big swoop of the area to see if I can see invisible things or anything else that might be hinky.
All right, give me a perception check with advantage, please.
For me is it me or is it my Tressum?
The Tressum.
Why do I just picture her literally picking it up a la Simba and just turning around?
She sort of flies up and sort of swings around, and you can see, the lion as it is sort of, crouched and ducked away in some of these sort of, small sort of brushes and trees, and it's clearly, watching you guys. You don't pick up anything else at this point.
So that's
Okay.
either not a lion or it's lost its survival instincts.
No, it must. Something weird is going on.
Let's get out of here.
Wait,
Yeah,
Cassandra, hang on. Cassandra pointed out that if the body was palatable to the lion would have eaten it by now already, yes?
Yes.
We
Okay.
don't know how long the body has been there or how long the lion has been there. The lion might have followed us for some time.
Also, you are forgetting that a frozen corpse would make him very cold on the inside and might kill him because of that.
I will turn to Gus and I'll be like, do something to consecrate the body. I don't want any undead on our trail.
Oh, I have a plan for that. Everybody head out.
Are you just going to burn it?
Oh no, I have a better use for our poor friend.
All right. Who is going to lead you along this path? What's your party?
I will
order?
volunteer because I'm at home at nature.
I'll go last with the cart.
I'll follow up. I'm proficient.
I'll pull.
Survival.
I think.
Why didn't you lead
Damn it,
us
Gus
next
has the
last
highest
time?
survival, doesn't he?
Does everyone
No, our new ranger probably does.
I have survival. I have nature. I have perception. I have investigation, athletics, and stealth.
But what's your survival?
It's a +4.
Yeah, I have the best survival.
+3. Oh, well. Nah.
+5, shit. Okay, from the back, I will direct. No, left! No, right! Stop, there is a code right there!
Well, you are following tracks, but you guys are making double time pace, so I need everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Is that disadvantage because I've already had one?
Sure is.
No, it
Wait,
isn't because it's a
Constitution?
saving throw, not a check.
I can see
Aww.
a dex saving throw being at disadvantage, but Constitution?
Look at these rolls.
No, I was asking because I'm already exhausted. So...
Yeah, no, that's at third level of exhaustion.
Oh, okay. So I am good then.
Everybody is good except for Radigan and Cithrin. You guys both gain a level of exhaustion just as you are, trudging across this snow and racing as fast as you can to try
Wait a second. Does my resistance to cold help me with that?
It does,
Yes,
I
you
think,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, that would give you advantage on it.
Oh, okay, so I'm 17 then, and I'm good.
So you're fine. Yeah, you're
Yay!
fine.
Does my immunity to being cold help me?
You have the ring. You're fine.
Awesome.
And I didn't have to roll
Ooh.
because I'm used to cold environments.
Yeah. Lucky. All right. So you guys take no further ill effects from the cold, and following these footprints, you can give me you can give me a survival check, anyone who has proficiency in it.
Does Jack
Anybody
of all
wanna-
trades count?
Anybody want
Sure.
to help me with an advantage?
I'll help.
I'll be guidancing this.
There we go, 18.
22.
How the hell? I rolled 7 twice.
Terrible.
It's easy to pick up with these footprints and with the the blood loss. It clearly appears that this person was running and sort of shuffling, but moving as quickly as they possibly could as they were making their way through this environment.
Could it have been those
And-
Yetis that was chasing Curious?
Last I checked,
And-
Yetis don't make you stab your own ears.
I mean,
No,
they
it's the
might.
whispers.
What whispers? I still do not hear them.
So eventually,
try.
after a few hours of running through this, basically dark green, almost black and white forest, and following the sort of red blood trails on the ground, you find yourselves coming finally to the Ice Possum Lodge. And as you are moving, through these woods and the forest, it is deep woods, it's thick trees, it's old growth. You also realize you've heard no animal sounds. No birds, no other movement in the trees or woods. It has been unnaturally quiet as you guys have, made your trek in this run along this woodland path.
But it's been snowing heavily, right?
It has been. It hasn't snowed for the last day. Once you guys entered the woods, so 2 days ago, the snow stopped. It had been snowing heavily up until that point. So since you've been in the woods, it has not been snowing. And eventually you find yourself at the Ice Possum Lodge, and it perches atop a steep promontory that drops off for about 40 feet to the forest floor below. The exposed stone of the cliff has a distinctive blue cast to it, and the snow in the clearing surrounding the lodge looks fresh and is unmarked by footprints, except for the single set that leads from the building's front door down the trail into the woods that you've been following. Spatters of frozen blood accompany this trail, as if the creature that made them was bleeding as it ran, which you know it was. And despite the chill in the air, the front door of the lodge hangs open, and no smoke curls up from the chimney on the roof.
Oh, this isn't good.
Well, I have seen a trap in my life, and this is definitely a trap.
Yep, this is a trap.
So
Yes,
we are going in then.
Of
I
course.
will.
Yes, we are.
Not right. Well,
Duma, I think it's time
not
for you
straight
to
away.
shine. And I'll slap him on the behind.
Woo!
I'm waiting for a spell description to show up. Or was that just a friendly pat?
That's a friendly pat. Good,
Awesome.
go team. Good job.
Good game. Good game.
The equine and the bovine are becoming pals.
But we're not going to have the equine and the bovine entwine. That'd be too far.
Gotten myself.
How do you want to
Alright.
approach this?
Should we walk
Yeah,
up
you
as
guys
a clue?
are at the edge of this clearing. What do you guys want to do?
If anything is in there, there's windows on the structure, right?
Cassandra,
I'm already thinking. Use Heidi Cat, close my eyes, see anything invisible.
mm-hmm.
See with
Or
eyes
just-
unclouded by hate. Yeah?
just look through the windows in general.
Alright, I will use Heidi Cat to do just a circle and look in the windows and see anything hinky or bad.
I'm going to look
Alright.
around just for signs of nothing right. Because I can't think of a better way to describe it.
I'm just going to scan the
as
trees.
as Heidi Cat, flies around and gets the windows, you can see they are all completely shuttered and dark. The door hangs open. The windows are completely closed and shuttered.
Well, you see, Heidi would see a closed door and just try and open it. That's how Heidi acts.
Yeah, but the front door is open. So then, Curious, give me a perception check, and Cithrin, give me a perception check. Okay. Curious, you can see, the ground is untrammeled, unmarked. Everything looks quiet. It is eerily silent. That seems wrong to you in these woods. There should be the sound of other animals going on. Cithrin, once again, just at the corner of your vision, every time you look, you think you see something just out of the corner of your eye, and then it's always just gone.
Mm-hmm.
You are still hearing the whispers as well.
I will report that I'm still seeing the shadows and I'm still hearing the whispers.
So with that 20, I will say, this image it looks like a tall, sort of very slender, white, ghostly image that just sort of comes into at the edge of your eye, but you can't see it. And, as soon as you try and focus on it, it just dissipates as if it's snow or smoke.
I report that as well.
Is it a woman in a white dress?
If it was a woman in a white dress, she'd probably make herself known to us. It's just a wispy, ghostly figure I'm seeing.
Well, I will, let's try this. By Morden's blessing, I protect you and yours from the spirits that are bound. And I'll do whatever the Morden version of the cross sign is.
An anvil.
Yeah, an anvil sign.
Or actually, if anything, it'd be more like a hammer on an anvil.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
basically
like
the
You
cross.
hammer your fist.
Oh, Ian, look
Or
at me,
like a
look at me.
hammer and a sickle.
No,
Wait,
no,
Mord
that
is the
would
god
be
of communism, right?
I was gonna do what's the where you hit your chest twice and then up with the fist? Is that the
is it the Black Panther?
Is it the Black Panther one? Yeah, something like that, I think.
Well, the Black Panther is just the closed fist in the air.
Oh, okay, then what's the one where you hit your chest twice and then do the closed fist in the air?
I don't know, but
Don't know.
whatever.
That's what it is now.
I'm going to be drawing my second hand axe, and I'm going to get into a somewhat crouched stance. So I'm sitting about 5 feet tall at the moment, ready for anything. And I guess I'm going to advance 5 feet.
Your character crouching is taller than Steph standing.
Yeah, I'm 7'4", if memory serves.
Oh!
All right. Yeah, you slowly move forward, looking around. I mean, the snow is, it's a little sort of crunchy and crisp. You can tell, it's had a couple of freezing nights, but the tracks and the blood stains still just appear to be a single set of footprints as you move forward.
I will follow a few feet behind, curious.
Can I do another loop around just in general to see if there's anything following us?
Yes. Everything appears very still and very, very quiet as Heidi the Tressum flies up sort of above and in and amongst the trees.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
No, not at all. I would like to make a perception test myself if I could, with guidance.
I'll be joining Radigan on perception checks on sound. Any
13.
Ezekiel, what do you think? What are the odds of undead versus more werewolves?
I was thinking something worse than undead, perhaps.
As you guys move forward, the only movement you see is the occasional bit, the door sort of, slightly moving as the wind sort of picks up and howls and whistles sort of around you. It is still, a blisteringly cold wind as you're up in the Icewind Dale, but everything around you otherwise just appears quiet and silent, and it's just the movement of the tree branches, occasionally a little bit of snow falling off that catches your eyes, but other than that, it is quiet.
All right, I'm going to stop for a moment, look at everyone. Holding my hand axe with only my thumb, I'm going to, give 4 fingers as a sort of hold maneuver, give a quick look around, and then I'm going to dash up to the...
That's the wagon. I'm just leaving it there.
Why would you leave the wagon?
Because we're going into there. So if anybody needs to run and take cover, they can hide behind the wagon.
I was actually going to suggest that everyone have an action ready while I go up ahead. Anything pops up, they just
Okay.
get. But curious, all right.
Cassandra, I will actually suggest that you hide behind the wagon. You have, you'd best serve us undercover.
I will hide behind the wagon. You don't have to tell me twice.
Save the squishy wizard. Let her cast her spells in safety.
Someone is going to also protect me right here, right? Like, in case of I get backstabbed. Right?
I think
I
the
will
lion
stay
is
here.
watching our back.
Well,
I did
sit
give
through
him
the...
food because I want him to be my animal friend.
You
Well,
already have 2 of those.
Cithrin was going to offer to stay, but if
3
Zeagle's
of
going to stay,
those.
she'll head up. Not right away, obviously. She'll wait
Steph
till
gets
Curious
greedy
comes
when
back.
there's D&D pets around.
You have Gus, you have Duma, and you have Heidi.
Gus is a person, not a pet.
Yes, but if you
That's
add him and Duma
insulting.
together, that's at least one pet.
All right, what does Curious see?
Half a pet.
Yes, what do my Goliath eyes see in this
Also, I
supposedly
like that in
dark
her eyes,
room?
Duma is still a pet.
Oh, no, and Duma is a person as well. They are intelligent beings, and I will brook no racism against them.
Okay, I'm just setting this next section up. Give me a second.
Setting up the trap. Good.
Well, no, it's because you guys keep moving around.
Yes.
All right.
So while you're setting that up,
So
cool. Never mind.
What you see is the interior of this lodge is a single large open room that has clearly seen better days. There are numerous tables and chairs that have been battered apart, and the lumber salvaged from them has been nailed over all of the tightly shuttered windows. You see a pile of rubble near the open door that indicates it too was once similarly barricaded, but the boards were subsequently torn out. You see several low beds against the far wall, which are in complete disarray. The beds, some ruined tables, and even the walls bear scorch marks and quite a few bloodstains. You see a large fireplace dominates the center of the room, but no fire burns inside it, though the walls bear numerous burn marks. You see a couple of composite longbows, a blood-soaked hatchet, and nearly 24 arrows lie scattered around the room. In the wall opposite the main entrance in sort of the back right corner, you also can pick out a single door.
So you're saying here in the right wall, if I'm seeing properly? Because that's a very thin wall. I've got like 3 pixels. Okay.
It's a small hunting cabin.
It is a small hunting cabin. I mean, it's turned to everyone and go, it looks like they barricaded themselves in here. I don't see anyone else in here.
Are the barricades on the outside or the inside?
Inside.
Inside, yeah. You'd see if it was on the outside. I am going to very cautiously slink up. And I will move in. Looking around for signs that there might be, any information on what exactly happened here.
Do you mind if I come up just so I can show the folks at home?
No, of course. Go right ahead.
I'm
you can just send up Heidi.
Behind the cart.
Can't you see through Heidi's token?
Oh, well, let me see.
Because sending Heidi up actually is something you would probably do.
Brilliant.
Heidi comes by and goes, mew, 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 mew.
Heidi has never done that in her life.
She does it to me all the time. She chirps at me. It's the best.
Best kitty is best.
Mm-hmm. She's hanging out right now.
All right. So yeah, stepping inside, Curious, the wood creaks under your, massive frame, and, you can still see your breath even though you're inside. But as you, give another sort of look around, you don't pick out anything more than what you saw from the outside. The light is low in the sky, but it is shining directly in this open door. So you can see this room fairly clearly. And yeah, I mean, you pick up blood, scorch marks, some weaponry laid around, the sort of beds in disarray, and then that's about it.
Okay. Because I'm a wary individual, I'm going to step over here, and I'm assuming that's where the hatchet is on the ground there. I'm just going to sort of look it over and tap it with my foot to see if there's anything hinky about it.
You tap it with your foot. Again, even just sort of looking at it, I mean, you wield hand axes. You can tell this is a very finely made one. It as you even sort of kick it, it like catches and just like skins just the faintest of layers off of this frozen wooden floor. So it is that sharp. It is a very good hunting axe.
So it's still kept its edge.
Yes.
In that case,
and
then
you can see. I mean, it is covered in blood.
I'm going to note that for later. I'm not necessarily going to pick it up yet. I'm afraid of curses and shit like that. Based upon the blood and where it's located, could I get an estimate of how many individuals were in here when the excrement hit the oscillating blades?
Give me a medicine check. You would say anywhere from 2 to 5 people.
All right. I will, turn my head out the door and sort of holler to everyone that knows. There was at least maybe half a dozen of them in here before things happened. No sign of them, though. There is a door in the back here.
Great. That's about how many we are. And I'm going to slowly start approaching. Patrick, I'd like to sort of approach the door and just like look it over and see what I can determine about whether it was like pulled out from the outside or busted out from the inside, based on where the blood marks are, any tool marks, that sort of thing.
Sure, give me an investigation check. You can clearly tell that this door had been barricaded from the inside, and then the inside was torn off, and that is part of the detritus that is on the floor by the door, and then somebody crashed out the door from the inside.
So they barricaded it from the inside, and then after some time of disarray and fire and etc., they broke out through their own barricades.
Well, you definitely know one person did that, as there's a single set of tracks that lead back to the body you found in the woods.
And we haven't seen any other bodies yet.
No.
Okie dokie. I'll say, yeah, that was busted out from the inside. Loud enough for everyone to hear.
So they barricaded themselves in with whatever killed them.
And I will sort of like motion for people to get a bit closer so that we're not spread out so much.
Who's going to bring the cart? I mean, I can't lift the cart.
I thought Ezekiel and Cassandra were going to stay with the cart. So, like, Cassandra hides
Yeah.
behind it, and Ezekiel just kind of watches her back.
Ah, yes, Ezekiel, the wonderful melee character.
Hey, Sithra was going to, and then Ezekiel offers. She'd be more than willing to switch places if he wants to.
I mean, I can bring the card before I do. My weapon of warning, it doesn't detect anything coming from the house.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, the weapon isn't like a radar. It basically gives you a ping when if you're about to be attacked. That's about it.
If anything's in the house, I don't think it's going to attack us anytime soon. So I'll just go back to the cart and pull it closer to the.
No, I'm back. Am I grabbing the cart and bringing it up?
No, I honestly think we should leave the cart where it is. Cassandra hides behind it. I'll stay in guard. So, like, we've got the rear in case anything comes at you guys, but we're also not too far away that we can't come charging in if you need help. So, Citron will boot Ezekiel out of his spot and be like, go help them. And she'll stay with Cassandra.
I'm gonna turn to the cat and assuming that the wizard is actually looking through its eyes. I don't know this for a fact right now. I'm gonna go, I think that axe may have something special. If you could look at it later, I'd be appreciated.
Yeah, we'll get right to that as soon as we've made sure that this place isn't haunted or
Well, let's go.
Has a vampire in it or something.
Moradin's light will shine in every corner.
How lit is the inside of this cabin?
It is currently only lit by the sun, which is low in the sky and sort of, coming into the doorway behind you. Inside, it is dark, so there is enough light to sort of see and make out everything, but it is not brightly lit inside at all. It's very dim.
So no pool table. It's not
How
that
are
lit.
how are the whispers treating me, Patrick?
You are still hearing them. They
No
are
worse, no
ringing
better.
sort
Okay.
of in your ear. Yeah, but they are still there.
Me.
Well, Duma, let's go. Moladin's light will guide us, and if Duma will go with me, we'll step in on either side of the door.
Yeah, right with you.
Okay, and Augustus, you've been in this lodge before, so you recognize that the door at the back leads to a storage room where typically some dried food and water and firewood are stored.
Oh, I didn't realize that George was already in here.
George?
Curious George.
Oh,
Mm.
The door back there. It is a storeroom. We should check if there are any survivors there.
Or bodies?
Let's be
And,
honest. Probably buddies.
If Cassandra is within that, I can't remember what the French word for cat is.
shut.
Shah?
Shot.
Shat.
Shat?
Oh, it's spelled shat. It's shot. Yeah.
Sha.
In shot.
Could go up and check to make sure nothing is lurking within the fireplace.
Heidi does so.
All right, give me an investigation check as you check out the fireplace.
My Tressum does, or do I? Because I'm looking through its eyes.
You use the Tressum.
It sees invisible things.
Looking up the fireplace and, inside, you can see that it is clear. There's no webs or anything like that. You can tell there was a fire in this hearth, but I mean, it is completely cold, so it hasn't been burning for a few days at least.
Can I talk through my pet and impart that knowledge to them, or do I have to go up and go back?
You have to go up and talk to them. You can talk to Cithrin, who's beside you, but you can't talk through your cat.
Mm-hmm.
Not until you have Rarity's telepathic bond.
Ah, okay.
Was there anything up there, little kitty cat? Tap once for yes and twice for no.
She will tap twice for no.
There we go. Done.
All right. So curious, you make your way again through, across this blood-stained floor. You can see this storage room door is hanging on its hinges. It is, again, it's got like scorches and it's sort of been smashed, but it's still hanging and it is closed. And you can see as you get past me, the beds are sort of disheveled. The floor creaks. Everything is cold. Your breath is, sort of showing, but there is no sort of movement or activity or anything like that as you move through the room. What's everybody else looking at while the Tressum looks up the fireplace?
I'm gonna examine this cabin, and I want to see just exactly how stable this place is, and if there's any weird architecture, or if it looks like the place is going to collapse, or what.
Dumo's just checking out the floor for any kind of markings or any kind of, anything that seems like a trapdoor or anything.
All right, give me an investigation check, Duma. Give me a tool check, Radigan.
Okay.
There is
Yeah.
stuff under your fingernails, Duma.
Yeah, you notice, there's a
Holy
couple of
shit.
scuff marks on the floor. You notice nowhere that appears to be any kind of trapdoor or anything like that. Radigan, the building itself is very well built. It is solid. It's been here, at least 40 or 50 years. The stonework is good. I mean, sort of the burns and the scorch marks in here didn't seem to damage anything seriously. So structurally, it is very sound.
Okay, so I look around and I say, well, it'll be shelter if we can get past the bloodstains. And
do not
hopefully
worry. Their
Uh-huh.
owners have gone to a better place.
And then Radigan's gonna just sort of step outside and take a look around and see if he can see anything interesting on the outside or the back of the building.
All right. Well, you go around back of the building and you can see there is this, 40-foot sort of drop off where these, the sort of precipice is. It's not steep, and you can see there are still trees, and the forest sort of continues on below. And you can see, there's the wind has sort of blown everything and swept. There's no footprints. There's no movement. The outside of the building looks solid. Augustus, what are you doing inside?
All right. So I will give a quiet prayer to Moradin for this space of protection. And has Curious opened the door?
Not yet. No, I was waiting to catch everyone's eye and make sure they're ready for whatever might jump out at us.
All right. So it seems like Radigan's off doing something. Ezekiel's fixing his makeup, and Duma is checking his nails. So I will step up behind you and nod.
All right, I will open the door, ready for something to jump scare us.
I'll ready a crossbow shot in case something comes through the door quickly.
Yeah, you open the door. It, swings outwards towards you and just sort of creaks. And you can see, this room is completely dark. There's almost no sunlight that is getting in there, but you can see there's a barrel sort of in the corner where you're looking. And, that is all you can see just as you pull the door open. I will say you can also catch maybe just the very edge of what looks like an animal's paw on the ground here.
Okay. It's not moving, so I'm assuming whatever it is, it's either docile or dead.
We're not in initiative, right?
You are not.
I cast light into the room.
All right. In casting light, you immediately see there are a couple of barrels. You see a large sort of pile of firewood in the corner, and the paw appears to be a pile of lion pelts. And as well, then you also see leaping towards you a figure of a man, but you see his face is sort of ashen white. His eyes look almost blank. His mouth is foaming, and he is going to leap at you, Curious. And I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Yes, little babies.
Click on myself and
Oh, not bad.
hey.
Yeah.
Mine's kind
Actually,
of bad.
Yeah, but that's what you get for having pi for an initiative bonus.
He's 2.14, and that's Radigan, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, he is
yeah.
3.14. Shit.
Yeah.
Not even E.
Why did you roll twice, Nabil?
I have initiative. Son of a bitch. Advantage on initiative with
You can
the
set-
warning.
Yeah, you can actually set that in on your sheet.
God damn.
Yeah, when you go to the cog middle column, right above where it says add dex to tiebreaker, where it's initial style, instead of normal, you can go advantage or disadvantage.
Nice.
And it'll only show one number, but if you hover over it, it'll show both ones that you rolled.
All right. So first up is Cithrin. So you are still outside. I will say you can all of a sudden hear the sound of sort of surprise and commotion come from within the building.
Well, the Tressa might see me get reached at, so...
I think so.
Yeah, but Cithrin's not going to see that.
No, but the individual looking through the Tressam's eyes
I
could
will
certainly
tell.
shriek.
Oh, she will on her turn. And with that, it is going to be this, man who sort of
Whoop.
leaps at you, Curious.
I was muted.
And he will attempt to bite at you. And you can see that, he is disheveled and sort of skinny and looks very unwell. That is going to be a 23. So he does manage to sort of scrabble up and bite you on the neck. You take 8 piercing.
Wait, what was the attack roll?
And
23 to hit.
Yeah, no, I can't count in words.
I
don't
wouldn't
think you can
because I have
see
a
him at this
16
point
AC.
either. Yeah. So you take 8 piercing damage, and then he rears back and attempts to bite you again. This time you are able to get your sort of pauldron and shoulder up and push his chin and cheek, and he's foaming at the mouth and
That's
sort of
why
blindly
I
trying to
wear it.
bite you, but does not. He is not able to get past your armor.
Oh, that's really
Radigan,
bad.
you are at the front door, and you can see Curious is struggling with someone who is, leapt atop him and is basically trying to climb him and bite him.
Some sort of crazy man has just jumped out of the door and is biting.
At
Curious.
best, he's showing signs of rabies. At
Yeah.
worst, he's a zombie.
Yep, don't care. Shooting him in the gut. Or not.
Yeah, you fire, and unfortunately, it strikes into the wall, sort of in between them, as the two of them are pushing back and forth. I'm assuming this is this just a standard crossbow, or is this? Did you
No,
make it?
It's standard crossbow. I haven't spent the spell for that yet.
All right, yeah, it just sticks into the wall between them. Any bonus actions?
No, not yet. I'm just trying to line up a shot.
All right, Curious.
All right. I don't particularly want to kill this guy because I don't know what's wrong with him. So, going to use the flat of the axe to actually strike him. So, right hand.
That hits.
Why? Oh, because that was the, yeah. So 10 damage on that one. And offhand.
Does not hit.
Okay. Still, smacked him across the face, pushed him off me a bit. And
yeah, you push him off, you smack him across the face with it. He barely seems to react to it. I mean, there was damage that was taken, and his head sort of snaps back and around, and the eyes kind of lull back. And he doesn't appear undead. He is still just sort of foaming at the mouth, but he doesn't appear to be in a state to even register that you hit him.
Little help with this guy. And my
Augustus.
Can I hit him if I'm here?
Yes, because he's basically trying to climb on top of Curious, so you'd be able to get an angle to hit him.
He's scrapping with me in the doorway.
Hello, my friend. Hello, big guy. Sun is going down, huh? And I will try and smack him two-handed, non-lethally with the word. Motherfucker!
And
that's where I kill Lorne.
You go to swing, and yeah, I mean, it pulverizes the open door, and it just shatters into half a dozen pieces. But you do not make contact, and the two of them, stop their fighting turn and look at you.
Kelly on.
And from behind you, Duma, what do you do?
Well, I don't exactly share the same concerns as Curious, as maybe sparing the guy. So I am going to go into rage.
Spare the sinner, kill the sin.
That is the sin, and I'm gonna
The sin's outside, actually.
Okay. I don't see
Oh, I'm not
that
a
from where
sinner.
I'm standing. I'm gonna take out a javelin and, while raging, toss it. Not toss it. Throw it at the creature that's on Kira.
That is a hit. Your javelin flies true and sticks into him for 10 piercing damage.
Actually, it doesn't add the damage to it.
Rage.
Not a strength.
Rage only works on melee attacks.
Oh.
All right, so
However,
8 piercing.
it does stay active if you make a ranged attack. It just requires a melee attack to add the bonus damage.
But the Ancestral Protector action stays active.
Yep, that fires off. So yeah,
Okay.
so I mean, you can see that, all of a sudden starting to float around you are these sort of spectral guardians and spirits, and they surround this figure. Any movement?
I'm just gonna take a couple of steps upward, and to get a better. Yeah, I'm gonna end it.
All right. I will say, as you get next to that bed, you can pick up there are sort of lumpy shapes underneath the covers.
Oh boy.
Cassandra, so looking through Heidi's eyes, you have seen all of this happen. What would you like to do?
Oh my god, Sithrin, what do we do?
Do they need our help?
Maybe?
Then we go.
Okay. I start running and give Heidi the command to help Curious.
All right, so the trust room flies in and amongst the two of you fighting, and Cassandra, you start heading towards the front door.
Oof, 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 oof. Is there anything creepy happening outside as I do this?
It's eerily quiet.
Yeah, it is eerily quiet. The sun is starting to set.
I've been watching. I've been keeping an eye on the woods, and I would have alerted you if I had seen anything.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right. The great Ezekiel.
All right. The great Ezekiel is going to move here. And then with line of sight is going to cast Hold Person on this guy.
All right, that is a wisdom save.
Indeed it is. Wisdom save DC 14.
Ooh, double threes.
He is paralyzed.
Yeah, you see this frothing at the mouth figure just lock up, and I mean, as you're close to him with the light shining off him, Curious and Augustus, you can see that, I mean, his clothing is caked with frozen blood and his skin is covered with sores and numerous little wounds. And as he's sort of freezing in place, you can see his feet are horribly frostbitten.
Oh my god.
Any bonus action, Great Ezekiel?
No, I'm going to hold on to my reaction. Or my Bardic Inspiration for reactions. That'll be it for me.
Okay. And with that, we are back to the top of the round. And Sithrin.
I'm going to move up, kind of behind the Cassandra.
And
5,
as you
10,
do,
15.
you see, again, out of the corner of your eye, this ghostly white figure before you move.
Oh, okay. So I will go back. Boop.
And so this ghostly white shape just out of the corner of your eye, again, comes out, but this time it seems to materialize beside you as you are alone.
Harassed and
this
slaughtered.
tall,
What the
gaunt,
fuck?
Oh no!
horrifying
Jesus Christ.
figure sort of almost comes out of the air beside you, and it swings its claws at you.
What the hell? I can't see anything.
It's a Wendigo.
Would I know what
Can
this
I
thing
see
is?
this, Patrick?
Radigan's taken care of.
You might know in a second. The first attack scratches across your armor, and then the other hand comes ringing around. And again, you're surprised, but you are still able to defend yourself. But then it
Jesus.
leans over you and attempts to just bite down on you. And the bite does manage to get through, and you take 7 piercing damage, but this wound is shockingly bloody, and you can just feel the blood coursing out of your sort of neck and shoulders as it happens. It is your turn.
Do I know what this thing is?
Give me a nature or arcana check.
Zeros in both. Yes!
Oh, you have heard tales on your trips through the sea of these horrible, angry entities that can happen sometimes when you're up in the far north. And when either the spirit of an animal or something that has been hunted is really mistreated or malnourished, it can form this angry spirit of vengeance, which is a Wendigo.
I will bellow that at the top of my lungs. Hopefully everybody inside hears, Wendigo! And then I am just going to,
Hell.
swing.
Wendigo!
Oh, shit. So with that 20, would I know if this thing is okay or not okay with cold damage?
I would say
I'm assuming,
you
'cause
would
it's
you would
north.
think cold damage wouldn't do very much to it. I mean, like looking at its thin, gaunt body, it's
Mhm.
barely wearing like scraps of hide armor, and it does not seem to be affected by the cold in the least.
I assumed as much, just confirming for my next turn. I'm assuming an 11 misses.
It does. You swing your great axe, and that is what sort of contacts one of its claws. It's trying to swing, and both of the attacks get sort of batted aside.
I will move around a little, just so I'm kind of in front of it, because I'm still trying to defend my comrades here, just trying to be between it and Cassandra, between it and the squishy wizard, and that's it.
Okay. Inside, the frozen character stands very still. Some dribble comes out of its jaw, and you just hear this, but it can do nothing else. Radigan.
Okay, Radigan sees the edge of this thing, and so he's gonna.
And you heard
not
Sithrin bellow.
go there. Yeah. So he's gonna do that, and then that, and then as he sort of runs out the tip of his crossbow, he'll flip a switch on the side of his crossbow. The tip will suddenly burst into flame, and he'll sort of shout out at the thing. And is that what I did right? I don't think that's right. That was right, and then something very bad happened. I think my entry for that got eaten. I had a whole thing for
Click arcane weapon.
Yeah,
Take the
click
words
click
of
the,
that.
the text of arcane weapon in
no,
the chat
nothing.
there.
Nothing. There's no damage listed under that entry. So something happened.
Oh.
I don't know what, but something did.
All right.
So.
Well, that 21 does hit.
Okay, so that's 10 piercing and 3 fire.
All right. Yeah. You're, Sithrin, as you're moving around and struggling, you just hear this, and you see the bolt strike and then sort of flare and flame. And it reacts, but doesn't seem to pay terribly much attention to it until the fire hits, and then you can just sort of see it wince and the flames sort of flare and then just immediately sort of die back away as the coldness of this creature affect it. All right, that takes us to the Wendigo itself.
Balls.
And as it turns and is struck, it opens its mouth and its jaw just kind of unhinges, and there's this ungodly screech and wail that comes from him. So I need Cassandra, Radigan, and Cithrin to all give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
I'm not so good at those.
Didn't you have like proficiency in those?
I do, but I don't have a lot of wisdom. I'm a fangirl after all.
All right, Radigan and Cithrin, your ears ring, but you only take 7 psychic damage, and then it clears. Cassandra, you take 14 psychic damage, and you are stunned.
Can I use my portents to change that 12 into a 17?
You would have needed to have done it before your roll.
I totally forgot what portents I had today, so I'm stunned now.
Yes.
I mean, in theory, if you get a second chance at it later, you could choose to do it automatically.
All right. Yep. Well, there I go.
All right. Inside, Curious.
All right. So this guy, I've noticed he's been stuck in place, right?
Yeah, you can. He's been trying to grab onto you, and you can just feel his hands now aren't moving. They're just sort of resting on you, and he is, clearly paralyzed.
All right. Well, I figure since I'm somewhat local, I should know at least how big of a threat a Wendigo is as opposed to this guy. So I'm going to leave this.
All right. Roll me just a D6.
Okay.
Yeah, as you pull away, because he was grabbing at you and hanging onto you, he just falls face forward onto the floor, just dunk, but stays there almost like a solid, tense
So
mass.
he
doesn't take any damage, but he just topples over.
Timber.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just looking to see exactly what I can do. Awesome. All right, I am doing this. So bonus action, marking the Wendigo as my prey.
All right.
Again. Yeah, first time I hit each turn. Awesome. And then yeah, because I actually don't know any of this. Action. I'm a hunter sense it. I know they're bad. I just don't know how bad.
You know that the best way to hit it or to hurt it, it doesn't have magical resistances. Normal weapons will do it. But you would know, I would say instead, cold or poison have no effect on such a creature. And it cannot be frightened. Its rage is so great.
All right. I will quickly yell out, knows no fear, ignore cold and poison. And my turn.
All right. Augustus, you had a body hit the floor in front of you.
Is he alive or dead?
He's alive. He's paralyzed from the Great Ezekiel's spell.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Great Ezekiel. Can you handle him?
I don't really do a whole lot of like fighting.
No, like he's paralyzed, right? So I will drop a coil of rope next to me. Can you handle him?
Yes, I can.
I would
All
say, and
right.
if you look over to
I
Ezekiel,
should have
I
dropped
would say
my
behind
manacles.
you, like dancing on both feet with his axe in the air, behind him is Duma, who's nodding his head when you're asking this question.
Oh, I did have manacles too. That is correct, Lord. I did bring those. So yeah, I could just drop manacles. But yes, all right. Thank you. And I will head out. Let's count this out. So
Duma's gonna kill him because he's up next.
Duma, don't kill him.
Knock him out, please. You will crit. Just knock him out.
Okay, so that's 25 to get to there. That's going to cost me 35 to get to there. 40 there. So that's my movement. And does Sithrin have a magical weapon?
No, I just have a silver weapon.
You don't need magical weapons to deal damage to this thing.
Oh, to a Wendigo? I thought we did. Okay.
No, and you will say, as you move up beside Cassandra, you will see she is just sort of rocking back on her feet and her eyes are just glazed right over.
I wanted to have an adventure, just like in my manga and my graphic novels.
So she's like, she's messed up.
She's stunned.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll use my action then for this turn, to kill yes, and I will push Cassandra back into the building.
Ow, ow, ow.
That's a
What-
nice
what?
shove. I'm saying direct her into the building. I'm throwing her at you, or towards where you are.
I just kind of, I don't get very far. I think at worst you just push me prone.
No,
I think it's just more of a forceful shove
can
back at
stagger.
me.
Yeah, you can stagger back towards Curious.
Do you want me to
You're
do
just
an
not really
athletics?
aware of your surroundings.
If I stagger back
No,
towards
it's-
Curious, hold on. If I stagger back towards Curious, can I fall into his arms? Like we're in a
He'll
romantic anime.
reflexibly.
Drop her. Drop
By
her.
reflex, he will catch you.
Yeah, you grab her and you turn and you dip her like you're dancing. But yeah, you're
No,
you're
it's more
multitasking.
literally she's thrown at she just thrust at me and I catch her and then realize I did it.
And drop her.
Yeah, you're
Let's settle
stunned,
down nicely. I
Cassandra, because
don't
it's a
hate her.
sound that sort of racked your head, and so you're not paralyzed or anything like that. So yeah, you're able to be sort of pushed into Curious, and he will sort of catch you before you stumble and fall into the cabin.
Clankley, my
Okay.
dear, get out of the way.
Duma, there is a prone, paralyzed body on the floor in front of you.
All right, and as much as Augustus went on screaming not to kill the guy, it goes against my beliefs. I'm more
This is not
curious
a
about.
religious debate.
Yeah, but okay, fine. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Evil. Oh wait, I'm stunned.
Oh, okay, you said that in your.
The guy in the closet's not. The guy in the closet's been driven crazy.
But he is stunned, right? Paralyzed.
He's paralyzed, which means if you hit him, you crit.
You also have advantage on your attacks.
That is true. So,
Sad, and then
double-
look at the ground and shake his head at you if you kill him.
Okay,
Him not-
fine.
Hit him.
Let him
But
play
you-
how he wants to play Duma. Let him go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Nabil.
I never actually
Okay.
voiced not to kill him. I just didn't try to attack him fatally.
Okay, but next time somebody owes me a kill, that's for sure. And I'm going to go for a non-lethal attack.
Oh, roll your attack.
I love you, you hoofed barbarian.
I'm just grumbling under my breath, shregger, shregger, ratter. Silver longsword.
Cheer up, you have a one to go to kill.
Duma's gonna have to get silvered horseshoes for me. Cow shoes.
And your advantage attack?
Well, if he hits, it's a crit.
I just want to see if he can do it.
Do it.
Have advantage.
Sorry. What do I roll for that one? I completely blanked out
again.
on that.
Roll
Just
again.
roll again for an attack because you have advantage.
Jeez.
It doesn't matter. I mean, your 23 hit, and it is a critical. So with that, we are going to have
An extra 7 if you just take the damage die from the second attack.
Yep. So
I can't see what he did, but I have an idea.
Total of 18 damage. This person is still conscious. They are still paralyzed, but they are still conscious. Not by much. I mean, you come down with the flat of your blade and sort of crack his head, and this, drool and spittle and probably a tooth sort of skitter across the floor, and they remain. But you can see the eyes are still open, and you still hear sounds and breathing coming from him.
All right, and the ancestral guardian is still active on him.
Yes, he's not attacking anybody.
Okay, and yeah, that's it for me for this.
All right, Cassandra, you are stunned. At the end of your turn, give me a saving throw, please. Wisdom again.
Can I make that can I use my portent and make it a 17?
Yes, you can.
That's what I'm going to do. Oh, hello there. Curious how we got in this position.
Sithrin would facepalm right now if she could.
I drop her.
That happens. I'll give both of you inspiration. All right, it is the great I shut down all the fun, Ezekiel.
What?
No, it's all good. So Ezekiel, you have your spell is up. You can see he is still alive. He is on the ground, damaged by Duma, but still breathing.
All right. Ezekiel is going to move over here next to him and just try and knock him out with the flat of his rapier, the basket of his rapier, rather, the little handle.
Yeah, because rapiers are flat. Over the head.
Why won't you sleep?
Oh, you hit him with the pommel.
Yeah, the pommel. I don't need no advantage to crit or auto crit.
You do not. Yeah, you rear back and just clock him across the forehead with your pommel, leaving an indentation, and you can see that. I mean, part of his skin even sort of sloughs off because it's covered in sores and cold and frostbitten. But his head sort of snaps back, and yeah, his eyes close. He is still breathing, but he is definitely unconscious.
It's kind of violent, dude.
Any bonus actions?
No, I'm just going to head towards the exit of the room so I can see the window. And
all right.
Specifically so I can cutting towards the Wendigo. I think I'm close enough.
Sithrin. Start of your turn. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please, as you feel just this hunger rise up within you, but you're able to push it down. You can take your turn.
Some of a bitch is trying to infect me with shit, ain't he?
It was the whispering voices, I think.
All right, great axe again.
Does not hit, and your wound bleeds for 3 damage.
Seriously, you know what? I really want to hit this bastard, so I'm going to action surge.
Nice.
Damn it!
That is a hit.
Oh, it is. Yes.
That just hits. So yeah, you slash through with your great axe as you refocus your energy, and it cuts across him, and there's a wound, but there's no blood. There's almost just this steam or wisp of smoke that seems to cut through where you cut him. He definitely, took damage, but it's a eerie kind of recovery.
All right. That's it.
No movement.
No, I don't want to risk being hit. I'm going to give everyone a chance to come up and take a turn and give a whack
Fair
on him.
enough. Radigan.
Remove the
Okay.
head.
Removing the head works for everything.
Radigan's gonna
Hydras. It does not work
run
for
around to the
hydras.
side of the side of the
Only if
cart,
you-
and he's going to shoot again. See if I fix my arcane crossbow. Looks like I did.
That is a hit. Again, your crossbow fires into him, strikes, and then, in his back, the fire just kind of flares up and then, peters out, but you can see this ring where the fire definitely left a mark on him.
Okay, so I'll sort of stabilize the crossbow and shoot him in the back, and then just be here for one of my turn.
All right. With that, it is the Wendigo's turn, and he is going to stare at you, Cithrin, and he will again try and hit you with his claws.
Miss.
That is a 19 to hit.
I will cutting words that.
All right.
Roll a 2 or better. Actually, wait, no, it'd have to be a.
I have to roll a
more
4
than
better.
that.
I have a 50-50
Yeah.
shot. I did not reduce it enough.
Oh.
Your armor class is 17, right, Cithrin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that reduces it to a 17, unfortunately. So it still hits. You take 10 slashing damage.
Oof.
Then it is going to turn and move towards you, Radigan, behind the cart. So you're going to get an attack of opportunity, Cithrin.
Awesome. Swing. Seriously?
Does not connect. And so Radigan, this creature comes and looms over you, and it's, you see this sort of steaming breath, and it swings its massive claw at you. Does not connect. You are able to get your shield up and block, and then you see its maw come down and try and bite down on you as well. And again, you can see its teeth in this great jaw that unhinges, but as it gets close to you, it strikes this arcane shield that is in front of you, and you can see it flexing, but it holds the bite off. And
yeah, you too, ugly.
That takes us to Curious.
All right. Bonus action, I cast Zephyr Strike. And because I'm not sure how you're going to rule this, one of the spell's effects allows me to make a attack with advantage, and on that same turn, my movement speed increases 30 feet. So if I'm planning on using it, can I use the movement first and then make the attack?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. In that case, then I dash up with that extra 30 feet because it's only 25 feet away. And instead, I will strike it with my hand axe with advantage. 25 will probably hit, which means it also takes an additional 3 force damage.
Excellent. Yeah, you strike with your axe, and again, yeah, it digs in, and you don't see any blood come out, just almost this sort of wispy mist. But then, this force damage, and you can hear something crack and snapping inside it.
Yeah, 15 damage, and I will, somewhat taunt it with "Hey, ugly," and then using the other aspect of Zephyr Strike, which still is up, I will move an extra 5 feet back.
Thank you.
Ending my turn.
And no attacks of opportunity because of Zephyr Strike.
So basically, I just sort of crouch down a bit more, run like the wind, come in, strike it, and hop back.
And as he hops back, there'll be the sound of hoofbeats as Augustus moves forward, and he's gonna smack him with one hand with a one-handed silver.
So sort of like polo.
Yeah, kind of.
And that hits for 7 bludgeoning. And again, you strike and it's solid, and just this sort of, gust of silvery sort of air comes out.
And
but you definitely connected.
I'm going to use my shield master feat to use my shield to bash him into the forge, which last week we said we had hot because we were keeping the people, Steph and I, who had exhaustion, warm as we were walking.
Yep.
We actually did say that.
Give me an athletic check. Yeah, you hit him with your shield and does not move.
Guys,
it rings, but yeah, there is no movement.
We don't get our loose screws today.
So it's kind of like Indiana Jones punching into the big Nazi guy in front of the plane.
Yeah, I should have shot him. And done.
All right. With that takes us to Duma.
I've been hearing this commotion coming out from the outside, and I'm like, guys better not be having fun without me. Head to the doorway, and I see that it's like, you guys, you're having fun without me, and I'm not going to be able to reach it. My rage might run out. I'm probably going to get a disadvantage at this. I'm going to try and throw a javelin at this distance, but I'm going to turn on my reckless attack. So would that counter my disadvantage throwing a javelin at this distance?
Yes.
Okay, great. So regular and still raging, and boom.
That is a hit. Your javelin flies and strikes true.
It's just 10 piercing, no rage. I keep forgetting to disable that.
Okay.
At least it's separate, so it's easy to ignore.
And then coming through the wall from the storeroom, you guys in the cabin itself see these blue-skinned, yellow-eyed, ghostly visages of what appear to be lions that just float right through the wall and move towards you guys.
Here, kitty.
We were nice to the lions, though.
It's the Ghost in the Darkness! I've read this manga!
That's a hell of a reference.
That's a deep cut.
All right. So first, coming through and leaping out at you, Ezekiel. Actually, at this point, this is going to happen. Let's take a quick 5-minute bathroom break, and then we will come back.
Oh my god.
Man.
But seriously, hell of a reference from 25 years ago.
It wasn't 25 years ago.
I think it was 95-ish.
No, it wasn't. It was like...
It was late 90s.
Which show is this? I didn't catch it.
No, The
It's a
Ghost in
movie.
the Darkness with Val Kilmer being...
1996.
It was 96, yeah.
I know he's done a bunch of movies. I don't know which one you're referring to, sadly.
It's
He
him
goes
and Michael
to...
Douglas about hunters in Africa, based on a true story.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have actually seen parts of it because my father was watching it way back in the day, but I had plans that day, so I didn't sit and watch it with him.
I am also very old.
I think you and I are in the same age group.
Yeah, a lot of us are in the same age group. I want to say I think there's maybe 2 years that separate Ian and I.
Yeah, and I think only one to separate you and I, but still, it's like 96. What?
Oh, you could have watched it later.
Probably. I probably watched it in like 99 or something like that.
I'm seriously gonna lose my shit if these lions are against us.
So I'm derping a little bit here. Is this Legacy or Legend of the Crystal Shard?
I thought it was Legacy.
Legacy.
I have this adventure. Holy shit! I haven't prepped it, but I have it. I know nothing.
You won't find this in it.
Yeah, because I have like the new version of it basically.
I'll be right back.
Because I was looking through my adventures to figure out like what should I run for like the Christmas one shot. By the way, right now your choices are Christmas in Barovia or A Dark Night Before Christmas.
Wait, what? Why would you do that?
Do what?
Dark Night.
A Dark Night Before Christmas?
Yeah.
That's the name of the adventure.
I like that one. I mean, Christmas in Barovia just sounds like Strahd giving out gifts, and that doesn't sound good.
I own you.
Well, no, it's more Strahd's all about the dark ones and their gifts, which are not good all the time. I mean, they are.
Something from Blinsky.
I was poking around on DM's Guild at first, and those were the first two that caught my eye. And I was like, hey, I have a bunch of little adventures. Let's see what I have. And like nothing's really like one shot worthy. Unless you guys want to do the haunt at Christmas.
I mean, my buddy came back.
They did release the 2 adventures for Adventures League that are one shots. I ran the one of them. It's not bad.
I've always wanted to try and do a Christmas themed one, so I want to see if I can. I like doing like the actual like theme stuff for the season, so I'm going to see if I can find something like that.
There is one. It's a winter festival one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the one they released last year, which is nice. One of the rewards is to be able to have a pseudo dragon as a familiar.
Aww.
At least I think it is. It might be something else. I forget now. Or fairy dragon.
I'm actually going to be giving the kids, since there's not a lot of magic items in the campaign, I'm going to give everybody something, and I'm also going to give them a bag of colored chalk. Because my Saturday group for Matt, the guy who's always online. Hi, Matt, by the way, if you're listening. Hi. Told me about this guy on Instagram called Bonus Action, and he comes up with all these like cool homebrew items. So I'm like scrolling through this, and I found like he's got like these like 12 different chalks that do like all these cool things if you draw symbols. I'm like, I'm going to give them a bag of chalk.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of searching for interesting stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually, in my Tuesday night game, and no one's used this yet, made a dagger that has a hollow handle that can fit a spell scroll in it. And you can use the dagger as a spellcasting focus, and you can cast whatever spell is written on a scroll within it. And when you do, you can choose to make the target of an attack with the weapon cast the effect of the spell. So in effect, you can cast Fireball without having it on your spell list, without having it prepared, by throwing this dagger at a point.
I have a plan of turning it into a missile and launching it into our turret and launching it like a cruise missile. Put a fireball in it, put it in a turret. It gets damage from being fired from the turret, and then the fireball damage.
Possibly. I'd have to figure that out. If anything, it would just be essentially turning it into a makeshift bolt and firing it that way. And you'd probably still have the same issue of it having only the range of a dagger, because it's not designed to be thrown all that well.
Hence a turret. Bombard.
But yeah, no, like I literally, I've gone on and looked for crazy little interesting ones like that. Mm-hmm. Another one I made for my Tyranny game it's called the Howling Tooth or the Hound's Tooth. I forget now. It's a +1 short bow that has 3 charges And when you use a charge, it turns the arrow into a spectral wolf that, should it hit, will effectively impart pack tactics on any melee attack attacking that creature until your next turn. So effectively, you shoot it, you deal an extra d8 of force damage, I think it is, and any melee attack until your next turn has advantage. It was really, really powerful when it got used against a dragon, and then everyone just went in and hammered on the thing. So they dealt 300 damage at level 11 to an ancient dragon.
No, I like that idea a lot. It's making me think in the Spire, automatic weapons, when they're covering people, should grant pack tactics to anybody flanking. So, like, if you're hosing someone down with machine gun fire and they're down, someone coming around the back should get pack tactics because you're being suppressed by the other guy with the machine gun.
Yeah, but you also have to make a dex save, not also get shot.
Yeah, because if you're unless
Be on the
they're
left and
hiding
right.
behind cover, on sides of on right angle walls, and they have effectively full cover, but don't want to get hit by any attacks. Even then, that'd be special. Suppressing someone with automatic fire like that, shooting whenever they're picking off their heads, I would say, sure, you don't do damage. You're effectively giving a long range help action.
It's an advantage action. Yeah.
I would say you could use it as a help action from afar. But even then, I would say you could only do it so many times, and you'd be expelling a lot of ammo to do it.
Well, that's the thing that balances it.
I would say,
you're using ammo.
If you're using a full auto version, you're going to be effectively emptying your clip to do this.
I mean, that's literally the point of a gun. I think so.
Back.
Yep.
I'm back.
I'm here.
I really
Alright,
want to see
so-
what this blue thing is.
These spectral lions come through the wall, leap across. The first one swings a claw at you, Ezekiel. That is going to be a 24 to hit. You take 7.
Let me just look at my AC real quick. 24 hits.
That hits. You take 7 what would be slashing damage, but it is actually necrotic damage. You can actually see it sort of blacken and darken against your skin where it struck you.
So no change?
Ooh. And then I need you to give me a strength saving throw, please.
The worst save throw.
You are knocked prone, and then it is going to lean over and attempt to bite you. That is going to be a 17 to hit. You take another 5 necrotic damage. And you are knocked prone. This other one is going to attempt to do the same thing to you, Duma. So it leaps at you and comes down with this spectral claw. That is going to be a critical hit. You take 11 necrotic damage, and I need you to give me a strength saving throw, please.
Is the after having it? Because I'm still.
Your necrotic is not halved.
Ooh. Okay. And what do you need? A con save?
Strength saving throw Lion is attempting to knock you prone. But you are able to hold it up, and I mean, it is still sort of snapping at you, but you are not knocked over. It does not get its bite attack. And I had him out of order, so Duma. And that takes us to Cassandra. So you've seen Ezekiel that is just knocked over by one of these spectral lions and was bit, and Duma is currently dancing with another one.
Oh gosh. They look just like our lion friend from earlier that we fed. How could these hunters have been so cruel? Anything happen? Nothing?
Give me an animal handling check.
Watch, you're on that 20.
I honestly would not be surprised if she actually did.
And no.
No, your words seem to fall on deaf ears.
Oh, well, go back to the spirit world, spirits, and I will call on Heidi and firebolt them. I'm only doing this so you can rest in peace.
Which
and so
one?
I might live. The one in front of Duma. Yeah.
Okay. There's
I
your
critted
critical
that!
hit.
There's my crit!
For 4 damage.
Yay! I got that crit, though. I got that crit.
Yep, your firebolt strikes, directly true and just burns right through the creature, and you can actually see the hole remains open as the fire passes through it, and it just sort of and howls. Any movement? Any bonus action? Bonus action was Tressor. Any movement?
I'm gonna move like whoop whoop whoop.
All right, yeah. To do that, you'd have to go through Duma through the door. The lion is going to get an attack of opportunity.
Really? Oh, I would have done it then.
Yep.
Okay. It wasn't obvious. I thought it kind of. I won't do it then. Sorry, it wasn't obvious from where I was standing. I'll just move back into this corner then.
Yeah, the lion's right next to the door, so going through the door would have gotten it. So, all right. So yeah, you move back into the corner, saving yourself 9 damage. And giving yourself a very good view of Ezekiel, who is currently on the floor being bitten by this spectral beast.
I believe he said something about, oh, you can take her? Almost a few hours ago.
Wait, what did I say?
Last session, when I made a joke about, oh, is there a sexy, handsome stranger entering camp? You were like, oh, you can take her, my friend. And oh yeah, that was just the previous evening, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, please keep up the psycho jealousy. That will make this incredibly interesting. No sarcasm.
It's nothing worse than a fangirl scorned. Ezekiel, what are you doing?
Yes.
I am standing up, disengaging, and running away. 5, 10. Can I get past Duma?
Yep, it's 10 feet of movement.
I will stop there.
All right.
And then my actions I use. I'm going to use my bonus action to healing word.
Okay. Top of the round, that takes us to Sithrin. Are you muted?
Are you present? Sithrin is just so overwhelmed by this whole situation.
Tara, did she
Power outage.
She said her mic is having problems.
Yeah. Wait for it.
I need a fucking headset, man. I
There we
wasn't
go.
muted. I was not muted. I checked that. But for whatever reason, you guys couldn't hear me. Anyways,
She's always muted.
This time I wasn't, I swear. Bonus action, second wind, heal myself. Oh, fucking hell. Really? 7?
Can you guys hear her?
That's not funny.
Seriously, dude. All right, so 17 now. And I saw Gus try and shove it onto the forge.
Yes.
Yes.
He basically hit it with
10,
his shield
15,
and it didn't go
20.
anywhere.
So actually, let's see. So that's 20. So I'm going to go here. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And I'm going to run towards the Wendigo and try and basically do the same thing. Do I get an advantage with the momentum or no? I'm assuming no.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Your wound bleeds for 3 damage.
Okay.
And give me an athletics check as you try and shove the Wendigo.
Yes!
You definitely shove the Wendigo back, and
Just shoulder check him.
Yeah, you hear a sizzle and roll me 2d6 for fire damage, please.
I'm going to keep pressing on him and try and hold him onto the forge.
All right.
Why am I rolling all threes? What the hell?
I don't know. It's a night of threes. So yeah, there is a horrid stench that comes up off of the forge as he is shoved backwards.
Because it's
onto
threes
it.
day.
Oh,
That was bad.
Wow.
I apologize. I apologize.
Excommunication.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You've got a seared Wendigo on the Barbie in front of you.
Yeah, and Radigan's just gonna put his foot into the cart and just kind of press back, and he's just gonna kind of take stock of this and the fact that he's hearing screaming coming from the cabin, and he's just gonna decide more gun, and he's gonna throw a little red and white ball that's gonna sort of detonate right there, and
Okay, turret.
Yep.
Bocce ball of death.
And yeah, it'll be the Force Ballista. And there's nowhere for it to go, really. Well, okay, it's going to... hold on a second. Why can't I move it?
Let me give you control.
Oh.
There you go.
Hooray! It's going to pop over to that side and shoot it and push it more into the car.
Nice.
All right, pushed 5 feet away. That is going to send it sprawling over top. So it takes the damage, and roll me, as it's going to be pushed and flip over top, just another d6 for the fire damage.
Okay, where's my dice? Oh, yeah.
Wait, did we chalk the wheels? Or did the cart just crush Radigan?
I've got my foot on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
he said
yeah,
he was holding
that,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Just has everything we need ever.
Yeah. And Radigan, oh, sorry. Also, give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I fail.
All right, you have this crippling hunger that rises up inside of you. It basically gives you basically it's the poison condition, but it is a ravenous hunger that overtakes you.
Wow, I wasn't the one who got bit. Okay. Well, I'll sort of shuffle myself a little bit off then, so I'm not in its space. Am I still hungry?
Yes. It lasts till the end of... you got to save at the end of your next turn.
Awesome.
And so I need Curious, Augustus, and Cithrin to... Actually, Cithrin, you've been pushed more than 5 feet away. So just Curious, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please. You also have this crippling hunger that rises up inside of you. So you are going to have disadvantage on your attacks, and the Wendigo will get its cry back. So it will rear back and let out this massive ear-splitting roar. And so I need everyone that is around the Wendigo, so Curious, Augustus, Cithrin, and Radigan, to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, I'm stunned.
Oh, it didn't help me in this time. I need your beloved light. Like the forge lights the sword, I will... There we go.
See?
Yeah, so Augustus, you are able to shield yourself from this scream with your prayer. The other three, you all take 10 psychic damage and are currently stunned.
Ow.
Augustus, you take 5 psychic damage.
As a reaction, I'm going to Stone's Endurance. So I take 6.
Yep, you take 6 psychic damage, and then the Wendigo is going to swing its claws at Radigan, so it has advantage and disadvantage, so this is going to be a straight roll.
I'd be going
That
down.
is 18 for 8 slashing damage.
Ooh.
And then it is
Still
going
up.
to swing once at Curious. Again, it's going to be a straight roll. That is only a 15, so it scrapes across your armor but does no damage. And then it is going to, in its sort of ghostly white sort of form, start to float and dissipate away into the woods. And after about 30 feet, it moves into the trees and just sort of falls from view.
Is it dead?
It is not dead. It wandered off.
Can I see through Heidi's eyes and see if I can find it?
You can on your turn. Next up is Curious. End of your turn. Give me another. That was your Constitution saving throw at 20. You are no longer stunned.
No, that was to see if I maintained concentration on my Zephyr.
All right. So you are currently
11.
stunned. You are still stunned. Augustus, it is your turn.
The demons of the north must be stopped. I am going to move my 40 feet, but as I go past... Oh, shit. Cithrin and Radigan are both down. Can I reach Cithrin as I run by? She's kind of in a half square, so...
All right. Yeah, you burst in through the trees in the woods, and you can still see it as it is just sort of floating through. You know, it is in front of you, in and amongst the trees.
And that's for Cithrin to get her back up.
All right.
Sully Ladigan!
Thank you.
And I moved my 40 feet. I cast a spell. You consuming monster, you will not devour the north. Not today! And done.
Okay. That takes us to inside the cabin. This will move over to attack Cassandra. That is a critical hit. You take 10 necrotic damage.
Oh!
But it doesn't have enough room to try and pounce. The one fighting Duma, that is a 17. That does not hit. You are able to push it off you and its claws rake past, but do not strike. And then it is going to move through the wall and start moving that way. So Duma and Ezekiel, you actually see this creature come through the wall and start heading for the woods. You're both going to get an attack of opportunity. Those both hit. All right, that one in front of it looks, its form as you slice through, it doesn't take as much damage as you would normally think it would. But it does take damage as your swords strike through. And the one in front of you, Cassandra, is just going to pass through the wall right through you there. So you will get an attack of opportunity as well.
Oh, yay! It's only a melee, ain't it? Yep. I have a dagger.
Yep.
And probably a whole lot of strength. Well,
that
that's
is
not bad, actually.
that is a hit. Yeah, you connect through, and just some sort of vapor sort of comes off as you stab through. It doesn't do as much damage as you would think, but it does do damage.
Yay!
And so those of you outside now see in the moonlight these, blue glowing lion forms that have moved out in across the snow.
Are they headed
Duma.
towards me?
Almost as if the starving lion friend that we saved might come and save us.
It critted on you.
No, this is the ghost one. I'm talking about the real one that we helped. Any minute now.
Okay, so Duma is gonna head out, and it's like, no, you started this. I'm gonna end this, and I'm gonna go full berserk rage and.
That is a hit. All right. Yeah, you slash through it, and you can see its form sort of splits and then reforms around, but it is definitely shrunken down after the 10 damage. And it's just about half its former size, and it's still holding itself together.
All right, and that's it.
All right, that takes us to Cassandra.
All right, so okay. Just attack that spectral lion right in front of me, or try and catch the Wendigo.
The Wendigo is in the trees at this point, so you can't see them clearly. You've seen Augustus sort of smash through, and you can see the area that he's in. But the Wendigo, it's very dim light out there, so without dark vision, you're going to have a very hard time seeing him.
My Tressum has dark vision, but you know what? I think even it's more than 100 feet away from me, right?
It's probably, I'd say it's within 100 feet, but it's a good distance.
Can I close my eyes and fire? And use it to guide, almost like a seeing eye, Tressum, and have it point to me in the right
you go
direction.
You go into
a trance
state. Yeah, when you look through its eyes.
Okay,
so you could definitely use it to find it, but you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna just use Heidi, attack Spectral Lion.
The one by Duma or the one out here?
The one by whichever one looks the worst.
That's the one by Duma.
9 fire damage.
All right, yeah. Again, you burn right through it, and you can see it's starting to have a very difficult time reforming itself.
Go to the other side.
Ezekiel. Cassandra seems to be yelling at "go to the other side" in your ear.
I'm just to go after this guy with I don't want him running away, but my only high damaging spell makes him run further. Yeah, I'm just gonna vicious mockery it.
Okay. Surprisingly, it has a positive modifier for its wisdom. Oh, and it still rolls a natural 1. All right, so it takes its damage and then immediately moves its distance over there. Actually, your spell it does not move. It has no effect on a ghost.
No, that was
Ghosts cannot be.
That's
Ghosts
dissonant
cannot be
whispers.
charmed or frightened.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't-
just.
This is just a
psychic
disadvantage on
damage.
attack.
Oh, it's just disadvantage on it. It doesn't make
Yeah,
it move. Okay.
Yeah, that's dissonant whispers. I don't want it to run away from me.
All right. Sorry. Too many spells. Any movement, any bonus actions?
Nope, that'll do it for me.
Sithrin, you are currently stunned. End of your turn. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please. You are still stunned. You were healed by Augustus as he ran past.
Yes. Thank you.
But your wound bleeds for 3 more damage.
Okay.
Radigan, you are stunned. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah, so Radigan will drag himself back to his feet.
Yes, you are no longer stunned. Your mind clears, your vision clears. That is the end of your turn.
Do I have a bonus action?
Nope.
All right. He'll just kind of look up, look around, look at some ghostly blue lines and go, huh. Well, don't that beat all?
And Augustus, you in the woods with the Wendigo, it now turns its attention to you and it reaches out to you with its long arms and these clawed long nails. The first attack is a 26 to hit. You take 13 slashing damage.
Wow.
Second arm comes to reach out and grab you and does not manage to get purchase, but then it leans over and attempts to, its jaw once again unhinges and it attempts to bite down upon.
Oh, I'm a big meal for you.
And it does manage to sink its
What
jaws
does it
into your
roll?
neck. And
Hang on, what's the attack roll?
you don't know.
You're
Too far
supposed to
away.
know.
It's enough to hit.
You're supposed to know
I
the number.
tell
though.
you. No, I'm supposed to. You know if it hits or not, and then you can make the roll.
All right, I will roll. I will cutting words out.
How far away are you? And it is in the woods, so you don't have a clear line of sight.
I think I'm SOL.
I'll let you try. I'll let you try it though, because I'm assuming Augustus, as you crash through the trees, you're going to leave a pretty wide open path. So give me a roll.
More.
Wow.
You feel the jaws wrap around your throat, and then its attention is drawn away from you, and it grazes you, but it does not break the skin. That was just enough to make it a miss.
Oh,
Right.
by Morden's light, it is good to have friends.
Well done, Ezekiel. And then the Wendigo, that is going to be his turn. Curious, you are still stunned.
Yep.
Augustus.
All right. So we're not losing any more party members. At least not on my watch. So does he doesn't have Wendigo doesn't have any metal on it.
No, this is like a gaunt humanoid shaped form, just wearing basically tattered like skins and hides.
And if you were giving me a broad description of its health, what would it be? Good, bloodied, near dead?
Definitely bloodied.
Let's sigh. I think. Oh no, we're just gonna smack it because having the shield up is better than not.
Oh, and actually, sorry, you're within 5 feet. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm not within 5 feet,
He's
but when
within
I move
10.
up to
Yeah.
attack him, I am.
He had to move to you to attack.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I'm gonna hit him with the one-handed silver warhammer.
All right. Yeah, you're fine.
Actually-
You feel this hunger wash over you, and
Wait
then
one
you
sec.
push
Sorry.
away.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to... Why can't I see it here? Oh, that's why. Okay.
Clang, clang, Gus's silver hammer.
God damn it.
Nice attempt.
Yeah, you reach out and attempt to lay hands on the creature, but it is just able to get out of the way. Otherwise, wow, that would have been spectacular damage.
And I am done.
All right.
You tired?
It is the
Tired.
lions. This one is going to charge at Curious. You take 9 necrotic as it slashes against you, and give me a strength saving throw, please.
Sorry, it was how much damage?
9 necrotic.
And I make the save. Actually, wait, I'm stunned.
Yeah, you're stunned. You automatically fail. So you are knocked prone, then it is going to attempt to bite you. But even though you are knocked over, its paw or something seemingly catches it, and it is unable to... Oh, no, wait. Your armor class is 16. That is just enough to hit you for another 11 necrotic damage. This lion is going to...
He's got big targets.
He does. And he is actually going to move towards Curious. That is going to give Ezekiel and Duma attacks of opportunity. Duma, you connect Ezekiel. Unfortunately, you go to stab with your rapier. And as it charges, you can just see as Duma swings through, it just, the vapors around it just kind of dissipate, and it can't form itself together, and it disappears from view. Didn't survive.
Woo!
All right. That takes us to Duma.
I'm just doing a quick. Okay, this is what I exactly need. I'm gonna go in, rushing. I forgot the name of my own special skill. Goring Rush. That's the name I was trying to find. And yeah, connecting with my horns.
Oh my God.
Hello, big bottom horse.
We make the walking world go round.
I just realized I need to make Constitution saving throws.
Sorry,
I'm
for
good.
some reason my horn is
your
not
spells stay up.
activating.
All right,
There
yeah,
we go.
so
It connected. Sorry, now it works.
crashing through the trees and, plowing past Augustus, you smash into this, emaciated, skinny figure and plow into it. And I mean, it reacts and just sort of crumples in half, and just this sort of white, ghastly essence escapes from it. It is still up, but it is looking quite badly wounded. Cassandra.
Okay, second verse, same as the first. Firebolt, that spectral one right there. Another crit!
Yeah, your firebolt blasts through it, and it just dissipates in this sort of bluish smoke as it... you hear this sort of ghostly roar as it dissipates, but it, cannot recover itself, and it is gone in the night. Any movement?
Doing it right now.
The great Ezekiel.
Dignate Ezekiel is going to move closer. Can I see the Wendigo?
You can. There's now been two, large party members of yours that have crashed through the brush and are in combat with it. So in the moonlight, you can definitely see it.
I can't.
You've also got dark vision. So
yeah, I can't. I don't have a mouse right now, so I can't measure. But I'm gonna run 30 feet closer to it.
Yeah, sure.
And dissonant whispers. Thank.
Ooh. Oh, that's only an 8.
Nice.
Wow.
And now it has to run away from the two party members.
Yo, mama, Wendigo.
So Duma and Augustus, give me attacks of opportunity.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Gus, you're letting me down.
Duma, you do connect.
Why do you say things that you know will hurt me?
And as it turns, Duma, your silver sword flashes through in the moonlight, and you slice down across its back and its shoulders, and you can feel it just sort of give as you are halfway through, and you hear this, again, ungodly scream in all of your minds as it dissipates. And you, in your rage, Duma, can feel the rage that almost explodes off of this. And I need you to give me a charisma saving throw, please.
All right, Cithalin, I heard it that time.
Ah, crap.
That is just enough. So yeah, you feel this sort of madness and insatiable hunger wash over you, but in your rage, you were able to maintain yourself, and you plant your axe down on the ground, and you turn and bellow up to the moon, but it is your own voice that you are hearing. The rest of you come unstunned as this creature is split and dissipates into the night. So you find yourself in this clearing by this cottage as the night is coming in. The weather is getting terribly cold, and it is quiet as the moon sits above you in the sky, and that's where we're going to end it for the night.
Oh,
I'm so
Gonna
bad
do-
our friend didn't save us.
Is Radigan's hunger dissipating?
Yes, that is dissipating.
Okay, good.
Your friend, if I may spoil a secret, had a very good meal thanks to Augustus casting Purify Food and Drink on the dead body for it.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Is that what you did?
I wanted him to have a good meal, and the spirit is gone and the soul is gone, so why not have the poor Clitel have a nice meal?
Well, Gus,
And that's inspiration for Augustus too.
Can't fault your sense of ethics or charity, but now it's got a taste for human flesh. So good job.
I am not human, so why is that a worry?
Yes, I am not human either. We are half elves.
What about
just be aware it probably has killed a few horses in its day.
But I am not a horse either.
I look over your back end and go, you could have fooled me.
I feel like there should be like a non-violent way to attack people where I can just kick people in the shin with my horse hoof.
All right.
Citrin, your wound continues to bleed. So
we will give that
can I
medicine
try
check.
a medicine check to see what would need to be healing it, or Radigan?
I think
can do so?
Radigan just did. Yeah, you. Actually, no, you got magically healed. So between that and with that medicine check, Radigan, you're able to bind the wound and staunch the bleeding. I mean, it's still a very bad bite, but it is not continuing to bleed.
Don't worry, we will go inside and Moradin will heal all our wounds.
And then I'll look over to Augustus. I'll say, check Curious's bite mark.
I'll drop some healing on that
yeah.
one since Citrin has his.
We will check. Let us go inside before the storm comes in.
Actually, we can take a couple of more minutes. You guys can move back inside the cabin. Checking the beds, you find basically human bodies that have been gnawed down almost to the bone.
Ooh.
They're not pure white bones. There's still a little bit of sort of red and blood. And looking over them, you can actually tell that it was a human mouth that basically ate them. So you would assume it was probably the unconscious person on the floor that would have done this. They continue to sort of froth and drool. You're able to get a fire going in the fireplace. You can sort of close the door up for the night, and you guys are able to warm up after a while.
You said
as you wish.
You said there was a barrel in the storage room, right?
Yes, looking in the barrel, you can see it's pretty much empty. There's one that had sort of dried fruit and goods in there for the hunters. The other one you can see is a barrel of frozen water. So something you could easily sort of thaw out, and it's clean drinking water.
Okay, so the one with the fruit will empty out, and we will bring it out. And had yes. So the empty barrel will bring out. I am sorry, my friend, but you cannot devour us in the night. And I will get someone to help me put our prisoner into the barrel, and we will seal it up, put some air holes in it, and put him into the storage room.
Don't you have manacles?
All right.
I have manacles and he has manacles. So yeah, he's in manacles right now.
We have been fighting werewolves, so let us not take the chance.
Fair enough.
As you guys are sort of picking him up, I will say, Cithrin, with the nat 20 you had, you will recognize that this is a person on their way to turning into a Wendigo.
I will note that, and I'll be like, it would probably be a kind of mercy to kill him now.
Do any of us know of any way to stop it?
Greater restoration?
Probably, but I don't think any one of us has it, and we don't really have the time or the energy to like go and take him to one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that, or better, would be needed. And yeah, you do not have time to get him to a town.
He won't last that long.
I walk up and just slit his throat. Then.
All right, yeah.
Oh my God.
I will let you do a coup de grace with him.
Cithrin does not object.
Friend.
That is a saddening thing, my friend, but I understand.
Give you inspiration for that.
Things worse.
Curious?
I haven't used it yet.
That is true.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I would go around picking up as many arrows that are useful to be reused.
Yep, you find 15 good arrows. The bows, one of them is still in good condition. The other one has a pretty serious sort of hairline crack. So if it had been attempted to be used, it's just going to break. And then the hand axe is in very good condition. It is just covered in blood.
I will start cleaning the hand axe and ask if the magicals could potentially check for magical signs on these weapons.
The magicals.
Detect magic.
I have identify.
All right, you cast detect magic, and the axe does glow. It is a +1 hand axe. There is also a ring on the dead man's finger that glows. And as well, the fireplace, there are a couple of stones. You can see just this little bit of light that peeks out from the stones, just sort of glowing.
I will pull the stones out.
All right. And back there,
pass
you
the
find
ring to someone who would identify.
Cassandra, who found it. You see, it is a ring of free action.
A ring of free action, everyone.
I'm taking the hand axe.
Yeah, and in this little area behind the stones, you see there's a fairly good-sized space back there that has, you see 4 vials that are filled with various liquids, and you find a small scroll case.
Ooh, what's in the scroll case?
You open it up and you recognize it as a scroll of Leoman's tiny hut.
Oh
You get-
yeah,
as you guys-
You're copying that, right?
I'm copying all of them.
You can't yet, but you can hold it until you can.
Yeah, that's my plan.
You find 2 potions that are the very recognizable red healing potions, and then as you're able to sort of sit with them, you find there's a potion of longevity and a potion of vitality. And I will say you notice that on the scroll case, you find a small sort of tag that you recognize as either somebody's personal mark, maybe a store mark, and it is the name on it says Passion, Pashen. And I will say you notice the same sort of symbol or mark is on the stoppers of the 4 potions as well.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, that is where we will end for the night. You guys will be getting a long rest inside this cabin, which warms nicely as the fire blooms and spreads.
But heal 20
And-
before the long rest, just in
Oh.
case we're ambushed in the middle of the night.
And also
will
in the storage
barricade
room,
the
there
door.
is a pile of, they are Timberway lion pelts, and there are 11 of them. And I would say, Curious, you would recognize they're probably worth 50 gold each in town.
I will inform the rest of the party about that.
Oh, and we'll bring the cart in so it doesn't get trashed in the storm or night.
Okay, yeah, you bring the cart in. You guys barricade the door, and I will say the night is going to pass quietly. And you will wake up in the morning with having gotten a full rest. But yeah, we will end there for the night.
All right, and with that, I would
All
like to
right.
thank our superfan ZLT for watching, and as well as Roll for Fun, a member of our Heroes Wanted collective of shows. Please check out his channel for chatting in the chat, along with Kane Phoenix. Other than that, I would like to thank others for watching. So thank you, Angel of Light, Commander Root, Host Me Raffle, Lurks, and S1 Faka for watching. Catch us next. Are we playing next Tuesday?
Possibly. I don't know if all of our players can make it. Assuming they can, yeah.
Okay, possibly next Tuesday for Resdelian, next Wednesday for The Demon Plague, DM'd by myself, and next Thursday for another Legacy of the Crystal Shard. With that, have a good weekend, everyone. Bye-bye!
Ciao.